Hey guys, just in time for Halloween, today I'll be using Wholly Kaw's Vor V, coming right up. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host John, aka Latherhog. If this is your first time here and you're looking for things related to the world of wet shaving, you've come to the right place. So Halloween is just around the corner, and I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I do love picking out a Halloween themed shave. And while I'm recording this, it's not quite Halloween yet, but this is sure to kind of set up, that spooky holiday. And what I'm using today is Wholly Kaw's Vor V, both the soap here in the CRO base, which is their tallow base, as well as the matching aftershave splash here. Vor V's got a great spooky label, got what I'm going to assume is like a Grim Reaper. It's definitely got the label to be, appropriate for Halloween. What my actual Halloween shave will be, I haven't quite determined that, but there's a bunch of great options. Let's take a closer look at the soap here. Again, this is Vor V in the CRO base, which really the main standout ingredient there is the whey protein, which is supposed to really just add to post-shave feel, slickness, all that good stuff. But let's take a sniff off the tub here. Oh, and as far as the pour, this is not a fresh pour. The soap's been used before, but back to the scent. So what I'm getting off the top here is a very robust scent. I would say probably like a 7 out of 10 as far as scent strength goes. And I'm getting raspberry and leather and generally a complex cologne type note. And I'll just be straight up that this reminds me of Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. For those of you who are into fragrances or familiar with that one, it definitely has that vibe of Tuscan Leather. And actually that will bring us to the topic which I'd like to address today, in addition to the shave gear I'm using, and that is just kind of the role of clones or dupe scents. Things are quote unquote inspired by, and whether it is explicitly stated in the product description, or if it's not. In this case, Vor V does not mention Tuscan Leather at all, but kind of that scent, it's kind of unmistakable. So we'll be digging both into the scent and that topic a little bit more as the video goes on, but let me show you what else we're going to use today. So for my razor, this is one that I haven't used on camera, and again, I'm trying to look through my shave den and see what have I used in front of you guys. This I have not used. This razor was piffed to me by local friend Dre, and this is Above the Tie R1. This one's an older model. It was made in the USA, and I believe the handle that it came with is the Chronos. And this is loaded with a Polsilver Super Iridium blade. As for the brush that's been soaking, we have one from Lowborn Supply, who unfortunately does not make brushes currently. This one is simply called Sorbet. This is the one, I've used this a few times before. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Thai iced tea as well. A bit of a shorter handle, kind of good, good for a face lather. Good grip. This one is loaded up with a 26mm Maggard's SHD knot. As for beard growth, I've outdone myself this time. It's been almost a week since my last shave. We got 6 days worth of growth here. So it's usually at this point I'm like, oh, should I keep the beard? But you can see it's quite patchy. I don't know. It's something I always consider now and then. My wife and my kids strongly against it, but yeah, 6 days of growth coming down today. And before we get into the shave, I'm gonna please ask you guys to do all the YouTube things if you want to help support the channel. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, please consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. Alright, so I've got the brush loaded up here, and let's get into the face lather and talk about the scent notes for Vor V. So the official scent notes for Vor V include geranium, raspberry, nutmeg, saffron, oud, black tea, cashmere, musk, leather, amber, and finally vanilla. As I'm lathering up here, and even when I was loading the brush, it really is unmistakable that this scent is trying to replicate, or heavily inspired by, whatever phrasing you want to use, Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. A fantastic scent. So if you like that one and you've been looking for that scent in shaving software, go out and get this one. I mean, I can tell you right now, this is doing a great job approximating that scent. And that's not a cheap one, guys. I mean, it's close to, I think a bottle of that is close to almost $200. I haven't looked recently. It might be well over $200 because the prices of fragrances has been kind of ballooning up the past few years. But that kind of brings us to the topic I want to address today. And and this is an open question to you guys, to you, the folks watching at home. And what are your thoughts when artisans or brands aren't as transparent or forthcoming with a scent that is clearly inspired by a clone of or a dupe of an existing scent? For me personally, I wish that it would be mentioned, that it would be disclosed, because it actually is it's a very helpful bit of information. Because when it comes to more complex scents, to cologne type scents, and you get this list of 10, 12 or more notes, it's really hard to decipher what it's going to be. And for those who are hobbyists, who are buying many shave soaps, you know that most of the times it is a blind buy. We don't know the scent that we're getting. We're trying to take whatever information, scent notes, reviews, videos like this, try to take whatever information you can get and to determine, is it a scent that you're gonna like? And granted, sometimes it's a miss, other times it's a hit. And you kind of over time learn what you like. So given the blind buy nature of those who are really into shaving scents, soaps, aftershaves, etc., it's a huge favor when that is mentioned. And I do realize sometimes there might be a trademark or copyright thing, but I've seen it before. There are artisans who list it. I know, like Sterling for one, does quite a number, and it does it very well, a number of clone scents, and they always mention which scent it's inspired by. By no way is the product supposed to be, this is endorsed by Tom Ford. No, it's just trying to tell you what is this trying to smell like. Now, quick pause on that topic. Let's go in for the first pass again with the above the tie R1. I forgot to mention the R1 is billed as a medium aggressive razor. And it's been a while since I used it, so as I shave, I'll give you my impressions, but I would say efficiency, again, we're working with 6 days worth of beard growth here. The efficiency, audio feedback, definitely there. But going back to the topic of disclosing dupes before, so CRO, it's a great base. It is, this is something I'll repeat also later, but it's a top tier base for me. S tier, as it were. But it is also on the pricier side as far as American artisan soaps. A tub of CRO typically costs $30 USD. So that's definitely on the pricier side. And in comparison with other, what I would deem S tier soaps, it being a good scent really matters. If you're going to pay a premium for the soap, I also want it to have a scent which I'm really going to enjoy. And it makes it a little harder to take a miss on a $30 soap. And if you're one who buys a matching aftershave splash, it's more than $30. You're coming up to like $50, $60 worth if you include like tax and shipping. So I think it's a disservice to not mention the dupe scents. And this is not the first time I've come across this from Wholly Kaw. And I'm not implying any sort of deception going on here or shady business going on. But I think it would be in Wholly Kaw's interest to mention any inspired by this is what the inspired by scent is. Because on top of the price point being a little bit higher, I will say that in my experience and some other friends of the community have also noticed this is the scents are very hit or miss. They can be very polarizing for Wholly Kaw. So it's like another reason to be wary of a purchase. So I see whatever information that can be given to the consumer is only a benefit. And also just to provide a tip for you guys, if you're wondering, if you're in this scenario where, honestly, when it comes to like 8 or more notes, if they're not a perfumer, if the artisan is not a perfumer, if they're not working with a perfumer, it still usually means it's gonna be a cologne scent or a cologne dupe. So one thing you can do, if you're trying to get as much information as possible, copy and paste from the product description the scent notes into your favorite search engine, Google, whatever. And a lot of times, take out descriptive words, make sure it's just the notes. A lot of times you can basically, do a reverse search and you'll find a fragrance oil or something. And by something, I mean an existing cologne, you'll find a match. That doesn't always work 100%, but more often than not, you'll find something. So if you're ever wondering, what is this a dupe of? Give that a try. And I just want to mention this again, that this is not in any way to badmouth Wholly Kaw. I enjoy Wholly Kaw products. And this is not necessarily the only case in which I've observed this happen. But it just so happened, the soap I reached for today kind of lent itself to talk about this topic. And it's also worth mentioning because within Wholly Kaw, from what I've tried, I've also experienced this with one other soap, and that is Valentinka, which I believe, given the name especially, I do believe that came out of Valentine's Day a year or two ago. And same deal where there was no cologne mentioned or fragrance mentioned, but as soon as I opened the tub, there's one scent, and it's an immensely popular scent that it smelled like, and that was Baccarat Rouge 540. And that's kind of known for a very sweet scent, almost like cotton candy, or I think in the UK it's a candy floss, but cotton candy for those in the US. And there's more to it than just that, but that's like the unmistakable first thing that kind of hits your nose. I do think it's the note of saffron, which actually happens to be in this scent as well, but that we have saffron to thank for that. But that one was definitely a Baccarat Rouge type scent, and honestly, I think it would have sold more if people knew that from the get-go. So in case you guys are looking for a soap, there's a few of them too, but if you are looking for one that smells like Baccarat Rouge 540, that's a good one. All right, so 2 passes are down, and some more observations about that R1. I would say it's got more blade feel than I would like. It's starting to, as the shave's gone on, especially after the second pass, I think you feel it more. I think it's appropriate for, especially when we're trying to knock down this much hair, like this much beard growth. But even then, I think I do prefer the one that I've been using a lot, which is the Charcoal Goods Level 2. I think it does a similar job, and it's a more comfortable shave. That being said, for those of you who like more blade feel and want more aggressive razor, but not, we're still talking, again, it's billed as a medium aggression razor, but above the tie R1 might be worth putting on your radar if you're looking for something like that. All right, and now just going in for a quick cleanup pass here. All right, so very solid shave today. Really like the scent. Just despite my preferences that it was disclosed what this scent was, but here we go with the Vor V Splash. This is the alcohol splash. Yes, this is the alcohol splash. They also actually make a great non-alcohol toner, in case that's more your preference. Man, I wish I caught that on camera. The cap bounced off the lid or off the edge of the sink, and I caught it. So, well. Let's get that in there. As far as alcohol splashes go, the one from Wholly Kaw, I don't think it's super high in alcohol concentration, even with the splash that contains alcohol. I do feel like the stinging on my face would have been much greater if it were. And there's a little bit of menthol in here too, so feels good. There's actually lots of good skin food in here. Yeah, so thoughts on Vor V. It's a great Tuscan leather dupe. So if you're a big fan of that scent, again, I said this before, I know. If you're looking for that scent in your shaving software, this is really good. And as far as my little, scale, how do I rate this scent? This is a huge thumbs up because I really like that scent. Funny enough, what I do own is a cologne, or something that's often recommended as an alternative to the expensive Tuscan leather, and that is from Lathering by Rasasi. So if you're a frag head and you're looking for something a little cheaper than Tuscan leather, there's an option for you. That's one I'm going to spray on right after we're done with the shave today. And as far as how I rate the Ciaro Tallow Soap Base from Wholly Kaw, also mentioned before, it is, it's top 5. I would firmly put this in my S tier of soaps. And of course, I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Does it matter to you if an artisan or brand discloses, if a scent is a dupe or a clone? Let me know in the comments below. There's no wrong answer. I personally think it's helpful information to have, but it might not matter to you. So whatever the case might be, I'd love to hear from you. As we're wrapping things up here, a few things to plug. If you'd like to see, shave of the days and some other kind of extra content besides YouTube, please be sure to follow me over on Instagram at latherhog. And also, if you're looking for a community of wet shavers who have maybe similar interests or likes, maybe you're looking for recommendations on software or hardware, I just want to invite you guys to come check out the Lather Talk Discord. You can go check out the link in the description below, or simply go to www.lathertalk.com. That's www.lathertalk.com, and that'll bring you over to the Discord server and other things related to the Lather Talk podcast, including our merchandise page and a Patreon page in case you want to help financially support the efforts of this channel and that podcast. And that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day. I really do appreciate you joining me for this shave, and I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line in the comments below. But I really do appreciate your support, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.